Hello and welcome to a video where I'm going to do something a little different. Today I'm going to go through 5 places in the Midlands that I've visited that have appeared in movies. I'll put links to all the videos where I go around these sites in the corners and in the description below, and please remember to like, share and subscribe, it really does help. If you do have any comments, I would love to hear them. Our first site is Benthall Hall in Shropshire, and the movie is Enola Holmes, starring Millie Bobbie Brown, Henry Cavil and Helen Bonham Carter. In this Netflix movie, the traditional residency of the Holmes family is portrayed by Benthall Hall, which lies just outside of Telford. It is an amazing old house dating back to the 1500s. In this little montage, you can clearly see the building as it looks today. The pointed roof sections and ivy-covered front are instantly recognisable, and it is the front of the house that shows up most in this film. In the movie, the inside shots are not actually Benthall Hall, but if you do visit in real life, you can see a wealth of artefacts from the time period, some very knowledgeable guides, and a hidden tiled floor by world-renowned tilers that even worked on the Congress building in America. The effects put into making the building seem dilapidated are quite impressive. In real life, the house is a fine example of 1500s architecture. In the movie, there is damaged roofing everywhere, ivy crawling up the building, and even this fountain, which isn't actually there in real life. Next we move over to Derbyshire and Sutton Scarsdale Hall, which features briefly in the 2016 movie Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. Unlike Benthall Hall, Sutton Scarsdale Hall is already a ruin. When the Scarsdale family ran into financial troubles, they sold off the hall to asset strippers in the early 1900s. With its dilapidated look, the hall was already perfect to play the role of Wayne Manor in Batman vs Superman, the fictional house having already burnt down by this point of the story. Being on its own in the field surrounded by wheat, it was perfect for the filming of a lonely brooding hall, great for shots of Ben Affleck walking away moodily, or for walking dramatically towards in slow motion to heighten the tension, or for this car to drive past on the track to somewhere fancy. As you can see here, the interior of Sutton Scarsdale Hall is almost completely gone, so any inside shots from the movie are obviously filmed somewhere else. However, if you did want to see the inside of Sutton Scarsdale as it was, the rooms have actually been sold and put into museums in America. There are 3 interiors displayed at the Museum of Art in Philadelphia, and a pine-panelled room is restored in the Huntington Library in California. Bouncing back over to Shropshire and Stokesay Castle, home of Catherine called Birdy, an Amazon original starring Bella Ramsey and based on the book of the same name. To start with, we have the prominently featured yellow gatehouse that guards the entrance to Stokesay Castle, the fortified manor house found in the beautiful Shropshire Hills. The gatehouse is from the 1700s, but the main hall goes all the way back 700 years and is actually quite well preserved. The filmmakers use many parts of the site in the film. The gatehouse gets used, the arching doors from the hall, and even the upper rooms feature briefly. When not dressed up for the movie, the main hall can look a little dilapidated, but take note of the paint above this door. You can clearly see it here in the bottom right, thus proving that this is the same hall, covered in fancy drapes and some artistic wooden cladding on the stairs. The courtyard gets used to great effect as well. This grassy exterior is usually used for relaxing, sitting, the occasional picnic. There is a well, there is an old medieval herb garden, and entrances into the basements of the tower and the hall. There are also some fantastic views over the Shropshire Hills. In the movie, however, it is often the site of celebrations, of dancing, and even some of the interactions with the local villages take place here. Sometimes the building is blurred in the background, but you can easily make out the identifiable points of the 700-year-old hall. It certainly makes a good backdrop for what is a lively and underrated comedy movie. Back over to Derbyshire now, and Keddleston Hall, where the 2008 movie The Duchess starring Keira Knightley and Ralph Fiennes, was largely filmed. Keddleston is an absolutely glorious old hall, and a monument to the wealth and power of the family that lived here. You can see the grand entrance and front of the house, but in the movie, it's mainly the back of the house that is used. Perhaps because it was supposed to be somewhere else. Here it says that this is the Ulthrop estate, but I can assure you that this is Kiddleston Hall in Derbyshire. In the distance you can see the Robert Adams Bridge. This spans across Cutler Brook, and it's only a little walk away from the main hall. In the movie, the Duchess Georgiana and the Lady Elizabeth, played by Hayley Atwell, can be seen walking to this very picturesque bridge with their children in tow. One of the grandest rooms in the entire hall is the Marble Room, supported by huge columns and surrounded by art and statues. The hall was designed to impress visitors as soon as they set foot into the building. A show of wealth and power. Not only are they gorgeous pieces, but it's these features that allow us to identify this room as the one used in the big banquet scene. You can clearly see the statues in the background and the marble columns that aren't actually marble, lining the table. It makes for a perfect place for this high society dinner. Several other rooms are used in the film as well, such as this drawing room where the Duchess and her mother meet for a quiet game and a chat. The wallpaper, paintings and the doorways are all clearly identifiable. One of the other more prominent rooms is the library, which features in several key scenes throughout the film. The furniture may be different from where it is when you visit nowadays, but is clearly identifiable as the same room. The markings on the fireplace, the bookcases and the windows are all dead giveaways. Our final movie for today remains in Derbyshire, and it's Hardwick Hall, where the movie Mary Queen of Scots starring Saoirse Ronan and Margot Robbie was filmed. This stunning 1500s estate was once described as being more glass than wall. The first movie I wanted to show while visiting here was actually Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, where it took the form of Malfoy Manor. However, as you can see in this brief glimpse, they have severely edited the hall with pointy spires and darkened it down greatly, so it wasn't the best view of the house. Instead, I decided to choose the film Mary, Queen of Scots from 2018, where the hall is used as a stand-in for Hampton Court Palace, where Queen Elizabeth resides. Outside shots like this one are all Hardwick Hall, and there are a few scenes that are actually filmed on the roof. Although they have taken a lot of the iconography that identifies the building as Hardwick Hall, the sheer amount of glass and the many columned entryway are clear identifiers to its true origin. It certainly is a fair stand-in for Hampton Court. They have also used the little gatehouse at this area and the front open lawn in a couple of scenes. I don't believe any scenes were filmed inside the hall, which is a shame because it is magnificent in there. And thank you for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it, and if you did, please remember to like, share and subscribe. I couldn't think of a good way to finish the video, so here's a picture of my cat Dana, who has been sat on my lap the entire time I've been editing. She's generally been good, but has mucked up like 3 different recordings, so could be better. See you next time.